Well, something else President Biden signed just yesterday, an executive order to get America back into the Paris Climate Agreement. Now, the international effort to combat global warming, we know about this, and whether you agree with that or agree with the actions from former President Trump, we can all agree we want the environment here on the First Coast to survive. Now, Renata Gregorio, she spoke with experts who say that global warming is already impacting us right here in Florida.
There's no one big fix to global warming, and experts tell me that getting back to the Paris Agreement is a step on the right path because they know all about the path with severe weather. Here, this is Riviera Street in San Marco, and it's where in 2018, families were told they may have to wait years until the constant flooding and damaged cars could be fully addressed.
For a president to do that on his first day in office is saying something huge.
Leanne Gustavus, climate justice organizer with the New Florida Majority, says prioritizing the planet on day one is an important move, with executive orders stopping the Keystone Pipeline and rejoining the Paris Agreement.
That, I believe, is going to drive a lot of where Florida's going.
Studies show global warming is impacting Florida with stronger hurricanes and more flooding. Gustavus sees the impacts on specifically minority communities.
Like Northwest Jacksonville. Anytime, there's an afternoon thunderstorm, their plumbing is overrun and, sewage starts to back up in their homes. Imagine having to deal with sewage every time it rains, actually in your home, not in your driveway, not, in the street, but actually in your home. That's something that is directly related to, increasing weather patterns.
Now, she believes that President Joe Biden's picks for his team will have a big impact on environmental problems nationally, but she says there is still a fight to be had on local levels. I'm Renata Gregorio in San Marco. First Coast News on your side.